going to be a great thing for anyone who's new, or even if people are very experienced. But it's something UWM does, multi-billion-dollar company, with their sales staff. So with their sales staff, they do this perfect day and perfect week strategy. One of them, I need to brainstorm just a little bit more on what I was going to do, because for some reason I'm completely forgetting. But in a perfect day, and then what we're going to be doing is we'll have probably the week after, maybe the week of New Year's, we'll do it. Maybe the week after, but probably the week of New Year's. We're going to be doing daily activities. And I kind of had talked about that before, but that way people can come in, collaborate, but really perfect. And a lot of this, perfect what they're doing as far as dialogue, outreach, whatever it is. And so a lot of this stuff will bleed into those group activities. So for people to achieve a perfect day and a perfect week, we're going to give some rewards. Sometimes it'll be monetary rewards. Sometimes it'll be, trips out somewhere to Michigan. Maybe it'll be a course. We'll have different incentives just depending on how many people really plug into this. But the first one is going to be always your perfect day. Like, what are the things you need to accomplish in your perfect day? And like I said, this is something that everyone can really, regardless if you're brand new into the industry, or you're experienced in the industry and you're trying to just have a better work-life balance or streamline your work and activities. This is something that no matter what is your go-to thing that you do to generate business and run your business, you're probably already doing most of this stuff. And so this is just keeping it more refined and specific so that you can keep track of it. Keep track however you want. There's habit trackers. There's just checking a box on your app, on your notepad. I'm not downloading anything past that and creating, because I've looked at so many different platforms where we can track a lot of this stuff, and it's just crazy expensive. Mostly because they're all trying to be tech companies right now, and they just advertise to much larger companies. But this is going to be kind of on an honor system. So you email me, either the day you complete your perfect day or the next day, but you want to complete 5 perfect days in a week. So it doesn't have to be 5 in a row. Some of these can be on the weekend. It doesn't mean you do half of things one day and the other half the next day. It is you do all of them. But they're easy things to do. So like I said, no matter what you do to generate business, most people are already doing this. Whether it's farming, you're chasing, you're on TikTok posting videos, you're sending mailers and working in neighborhoods, you're paying for leads and having to call those leads, you're cold calling homeowners and for sale by owners, you're doing this. So the first thing is you got to drop the message. Drop the message 5 times, whether you're DMing people, texting them, emailing, calling them, or just having a conversation or converse with 5 people and remind them you are an agent. So this is why our group activities, 1 day a week, we're going to be coming in and just inviting people to our next upcoming event, whatever it might be. And we will always have another event coming up. A lot of times they may just be happy hours, but or webinars. And so this is a great way for you. Our next event's probably going to be a webinar and an in-person type class, but this is a great way for you to remind people that you're an agent 5 times a day. I have a message on my notes on my phone typed out with a link to Eventbrite that I just copy and paste, and I go over to LinkedIn and I go to Facebook and sometimes Instagram, and I just invite people. All you got to do is five of them a day. Even just, we have the holidays coming up and texting people. Even your past clients count, emails count, calling leads. For those of you on OpCity, or if you've been getting any leads from our website, calling them and saying, hey, even just leaving a voicemail. But it's 5 people a day. No one wants to work with a secret agent. And a lot of people are secret agents. Their profiles are private. They don't tell anyone they're a real estate agent, and who's ever going to do business with you? So, and I really am emphasizing this a lot because that's the premise of pretty much anything people do to get business. If you're paying for leads, you got to tell people you're an agent. You got to have them sign the buyer broker agreement. If you're working in a neighborhood, same thing. If you're cold calling homeowners, same thing. If you're door knocking, same thing. We have people who that we send some referral people that basically agents in Southern California and San Diego area that we've been sending a lot of our referrals to because they're really good and they've been sending them back. Chase works with them a lot, but one of the main things that some of these people do is they just add people and on Instagram, they post random whatever content, but then they personally message people when they follow them back and they say, hey, thank you for following me. You know, if you ever, and they've got their go-to line that they say, and they get a lot of business from it. So 5 messages a day. Okay, next is engage online. No one will ever see your content if you do not like and comment on other people's posts. Chase does the same thing when he posts on TikTok and he gets comments. He has a strategy, right? He has to reply to their comments. He has to do videos in response to their comments a lot of times. So this is similar to that, but regardless of what you do, if social media is not going to be your thing, you still have to have a social media presence for multiple reasons. Doesn't mean your posts have to be super smart. You could just share posts from list reports that we have access to. That way you don't have to create your own content, but you have to like and comment on other people's something, right? Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, their website. I don't know how you would do that, but whatever it is, 10 people a day. The reason why I add this is because it's so freaking easy to sit at lunch and when you're working and just like and comment on 10 posts. But the effect you're going to have is going to be tremendous. Okay, expand your network. I actually did not edit this yet. And so we'll have a better video coming out about this, but it's just going to be adding 10 people a day to your network, whether that's Instagram. I really encourage Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. Why? Because whenever you invite people to your events or if you post things on social media, you're able to add them. Or if you're building a farm, right, you're adding people to that farm, whatever it might be. So you can be very intentional with this. And this is going to be one of our group activities where you're going to be adding people to your social media. So one of the things we're going to do is if you do an open house, that on Mondays, we're probably going to be adding people to from your open house to your social media. We're going to show you how to do that. If you did an open house and you got a listing, I'm going to show you a free tool called PropWire. It's similar to Property Radar, but it's free. And how you can add very, highly motivated sellers, to your sphere through social media. So you don't have to cold call, you don't have to cold text or cold email. You're just adding them to your social media. I have this for our loan officers. They add high interest rate homeowners. And so if you want to work with a loan officer and really target a specific neighborhood, both of you should just be adding everyone in that neighborhood to your social media. But you got to expand your network. This is also great for those of you who have already established a huge book of business. If you're trying to win over more listings, at some point, people are going to really pay attention to how many followers you have. Like, what is your database of people that you're going to be able to directly advertise their property to? And when you go to someone, you say, look, I have 1,000, Instagram followers. I used to be able to go and say, I have almost 5,000 Facebook friends, and I have, I think I'm at now 4,000 LinkedIn connections. And I think I'm at only 1,000 Instagram followers, or maybe a little less than that. I think I'm at like 800 or something. But it is going to be a way for you to win more listings. It's also a very easy way when when you close a deal with someone. So if social media is not your thing and you just post randomly, that's fine. But when you whatever it is that you do and you close that person, you should be adding a lot of their friends and family. You should be going to their open house party and getting the first and last name of everyone who goes there, right? You go up, meet a couple people, go to the bathroom, write down their names and where they said they live and what they do for work. That way you can look them up later. You should go to your the registry, the work registry of your client and add everyone there. But that's going to feed into everything else, right? That then gives you 5 people to drop a message to. That then gives you people to engage with online and like and comment on their posts. When you post on social media, because that's one of the things you do per day, business or personal, doesn't matter. Just something on social media. You have to build a resume and a brand. I like to tell people a brand is not, it's not that complicated. It's just, what do I want people to look at me as? Do I want people to look at me as Damati's the house cleaner, or, the mom who works super hard and has a, is also a real estate agent and, all this stuff? Does that mean she has to go and make really good video content? No. That means that she could post stuff about doing fun things with her daughter and with Ben and things around the house and her dog or what's important to her, while still posting something real estate related. So it reminds people, oh, right. If I go to someone's profile and I scroll and every 3 posts, it's something real estate related, it still tells me, oh, they're an active agent. The opposite is also true. If you post nothing, people are going to know that you don't give a crap about real estate. So you have to post something. Doesn't have to be amazing unless if social media is going to be your focus. The last thing is going to be stay motivated. So on Discord, I created a channel and we're going to really be emphasizing this. People are supposed to stay positive on this stuff. We do it for the mortgage company as well. Oops. I think I called it the vision. So we're posting a lot of motivational stuff on here. It doesn't mean that's what you have to do to be motivational. You can even just go look at a $1 million home in our area and do that. But you got to every day remind yourself of your motivations. I just think that is going to be the number one reason why most people quit the industry or any sales industry. Most people look at real estate as an opportunity to make a lot of money and then they leave. Why? Not because of the market. It's just they tried and gave up. And so when you're doing a lot of activities and you're thinking, wow, I'm not getting any results, it's because you forgot about your motivation. Because here's my thing. If my motivation was, I want to be making, any more than what my dad made as a kid's dentist, right? He made, I don't know, maybe let's say it was $300,000 a year. I want to make more than that. I want to beat him. Not like, oh, I want to beat him, but just, right. I want to do better. Right. And so he went through what Nate probably knows best. He probably went through 10 or 12 years of college and higher education to become specifically a pediatric kids dentist, and then took a while to get his practice going. Okay. Well, have I put in that much time in real estate? No. Well, if my goal was to make more than him, did I really expect I was going to do that in less time? Come on. I mean, really, that's why most people quit. You forget your motivation. You forget that just higher level drivers. So just, you have to remind yourself every day of why you got in the business. And that can look very different for everyone. Could just be scrolling through motivational stuff on Instagram or TikTok. It could be posting. Could be looking at the posts we post on the Vision channel of our Discord. It could be going to look at open houses. It could be test driving nice cars. It could be whatever it might be. It could be looking at your bank account and thinking, wow, the things I would do if I just closed 3, $10,000 commission check deals. Now, the perfect week, there is something that we're going to have to change here. And I can't remember what it was that I was going to do, but to achieve a perfect week, and this is where we're going to start monetizing and giving prizes. So if you have 4 perfect weeks in a row, or just a straight perfect month, that is 5 perfect days in a week, right? It doesn't have to be consecutive days or during the work week, right? It can be whenever. It's 5 appointments a week, right? I'm kind of pushing everyone a little bit because I think this is too easy to do. So this is host something, attend something, or meet someone 5 times per week. I get coffee with a friend from high school. I get lunch with a former coworker or current coworker. I sit down with a current coworker, right? For a lot of you who have jobs, your current staff members, I sit down with them for lunch and we just talk and I build relationships. I go to a networking event, right? There's a real estate investor group, or there's just a business owner networking group I attend. Personally, I know a Beach Hut Deli owner who just took over one of the Beach Hut delis, and she wants to do like a small group party as a celebration. That counts, right? you host a game night, a poker night, anything, a pool night, whatever, like that all counts. Up to you if you want to count the fact that there's 5 people as your 5 things. It's up to you. I'd push yourself a little bit more and count that as one meeting. You can host a webinar. Eventbrite is free, and it advertises your webinar throughout the entire internet. This is one of the things that we are going to be, one of the group activities we're going to be doing on Wednesdays is kind of a mix of different activities you can do, but hosting those webinars can be huge. Hosting it, whether people attend or not, counts. That's the only one that counts. Hosting a booth at a fair. If you have someone that you know has a booth at a fair or community event, and you go, or you invite your neighbors to go with you, that counts. Not I stepped outside of my house and talked to my neighbor. Doesn't count. I asked my neighbor if they want to go on a walk with me. That counts. So you invite people to our event and they attend or don't attend, or you attend, that counts. So 5 appointments a week. Sorry, this includes listing appointments. This is why it's important for people who have a good book of business. This includes meeting with new buyers. So if you get a buyer lead and they don't want to see that house anymore for whatever reason, or it's not available, yet meeting with them for coffee or lunch or whatever it might be counts. If they don't show up, it still counts. Listing appointments still count. And then just showing houses to clients count as your 5 appointments. At some point, we'll critique that a little bit and change it up. Now, quotes, this is probably going to be, you're going to send 3 offers or listing presentations to me, out. So this is encouraging everyone to get clients. If you want to get a client who's a flipper, and I don't know, we all should be getting those texts. Do you get those text messages about I'm a flipper looking for deals, off-market deals?
A lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we're all getting them. If you've been around for 6 months, you probably are getting them. So say, hey, I'd love to represent you. What if I found you some decent deals? Even if you don't have a client to write an offer, you're going to practice writing an offer, and you're going to record a video of you going over an offer or a listing presentation. So we're going to count listing presentations or offers in this send 3 a week. So if you have a client writing an offer, great. If you do a listing presentation, great. If you present offers to your clients, great. Or you're going to record a video explaining how the contract works, or explaining how the listing agreement, and basically doing a listing presentation 3 times a week. So if you don't have clients, 3 times a week, you're creating video content on how offers work, how you negotiate, or how you do listings, and how listing appointments work. Why? Because we're going to take those and we're going to post them to your personally branded landing page on our website. That way we start to drive traffic to generate business for you. Leads are leads right now. Unfortunately, at least with real estate, it's the fun part, but a lot of people are very jaded on putting their information anywhere on the internet because we've all been spammed and scammed. And so anything we can do to add a personal touch to our lead platform is going to help those leads be higher quality. So if someone registers off your landing page and wants to request more information because maybe they saw a video about you explaining how the process works and how you can get them a good deal, that counts, right? And so that's what's going to be here. It's going to be 3 offers or presentations. Next is a one-on-one call with your mentor or me, right? This could be, a brief call, a text, an update, an email, not necessarily an email, but you want to communicate with whoever it is that can be kind of that accountability partner. But we're going to be having 2 calls a week. So even if it's a 10-minute call with me, an appointment with me, if you come to our group activities, that counts as well. So 2 a week, where you are expressing one-on-one or somewhat one-on-one what you're doing. So these meetings don't really count because I'm pretty much the only one talking. And then the last is just sending a daily email or emails basically telling me, hey, yesterday I completed a perfect day, or today I completed a perfect day. Hey, I had 5 perfect days in a row. I'm pretty sure I just completed a perfect week. And so that's going to be our 5 things. Like I said, we're going to have all kinds of different rewards and prizes. Right now, it's going to be a mystery prize. I'll just say the more people who do it, or the faster people do it, the more incentivized I will be to send out a pretty good reward. So at some point, we may do it where it's, you get to go on the UWM trips with us if you complete them. These are not hard things to do. Like I said, I designed it because people I know who close a lot of deals in real estate probably do all of this, just without intentionally doing it. Any questions about any of that? And we're going to have lots more videos and information coming out about it, but we'll pretty much kick it off not next week, but the week after. Do mark your calendars, because on January 14th, we're going to do our business planning session. I don't do it the same every year, so this is going to be very different, but it's going to be a lot more interactive. So I'm going to ask everyone to please bring a notepad and pen. If you use like a daily planner of some kind, or if you're interested in getting one, I would go get one. Bring your calendar, bring your computer, but we're going to pretty much say, tell all your clients I'm busy from 10 to 12, only because we're going to eat lunch, but 10 to 12, I am busy. This is 100% the priority. Go to your boss and say, hey, I can't work that day. For those of you who work, this is how if you don't go, it's going to be really hard for you to have a good year in real estate. But we're going to make this a lot more interactive and a lot more planning than I did last year. Last year was just me talking. And so that a lot of you can actually really plan out your next year and figure out what happened last year. So if you've never been, great, because it's going to be amazing. If you have been, great, because you're going to figure out what happened last year. Like, what could I change? What could I perfect? And so anyone I'll just say, when I did something like this, I closed, I want to say like 6 deals, or I think I made like 40,000 or 45,000 in real estate. And I said, hey, I have a kid on the way and I really want to do just a lot better. I want to make 200,000 next year. Did I make 200? No, but I did make 198. And so there was something about everything that we talked about that we're going to talk about in that business planning session that throughout the whole year, it was just always in my mind. And I never would have made certain decisions that got me to do that. I sold one property for, I think it was like 5,650,000. I co-sold that. And I think our commission check was like 64,000 each. Honestly, never, ever would have happened if I hadn't had that business planning session and really thought about certain things. This is a great way. Like, I'm not trying to, I don't do anything amazing. I've cherry picked a lot of really good things that, some business coaches do, some really good real estate agents do, and real estate coaches do as far as their business planning session. But we're going to be implementing that. We're also going to be, lunch will be provided. So it'll probably be a sandwich place again, but it'll be a really nice sandwich place. I think last year we had, somewhere that's like really good and really popular in the Bay Area. Probably going to request something. We may have sushi. I don't know. But yes, January 14th, if a lot of you can't make it for some reason and you can't change your schedule, maybe we'll change it, but we're probably going to have it then. I would love people to come in person. I will have it online as well, but in person is 1000% preferred because we're going to make it more collaborative and working with each other. So